Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in for the fourth episode. We had a little bit of a stump uh, due to some unforeseen circumstances, but we're back nonetheless. Thanks for tuning in again. And yeah, I guess we're just going to start off with some of the things that have changed in the past, I believe, 2.5, 3 weeks at this point, Sam. 2 weeks,
Hmm.
I believe, right?
Yeah, it's been I'd say 3 weeks,
Yeah,
maybe.
close to, yeah.
Yeah. And I
We'll,
think the
we'll check it.
first thing is probably my background, right? Like I don't
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah. Well, well,
I
guess
don't have
what?
the
My
corner.
background as
Yeah, actually
well.
yours as well. Yeah, I don't have the corner anymore.
Yeah.
So, um
They thought we were gone, but we're back and better than ever.
yeah, exactly.
And right.
Something like that. Um at least on my end, had to relocate due to personal matters. So, now finally living sort of on my own, just with a buddy here. Um, I'm in like literally bumfuck nowhere, Missouri, and um,
How's
like
how's living in bumfuck nowhere, Missouri?
it's all right. It's all right. Like honestly, I feel like the environment is going to help me out a lot.
Hmm.
I will admit though, like I think my buddy, at least some of his habits like they're definitely influencing me more than I'd want them to be fair. So
What's it like?
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
um
What's he
Exactly.
doing?
it's just like more like, at least this is kind of his day to day, is like he's got his job, he works at the Air Force, and outside of that he kind of detaches from everything. So um that might be it, just kind of is just spending the rest of the day kind of winding down essentially. So just lots of things around that, and so I kind of catch wind of that, and it's like it just feels like a little bit easier for me to do that too. I just kind of fall under wing. um and then I kind of just like go into like all the things I used to do before I got into sales, if that
Hmm.
kind of makes sense. So it just kind of goes into a stream of just like not really thinking much, and just like um either watching a TV show or just like playing a little bit of video games here and there.
Cut
Um,
that. Cut that
Yeah,
off.
I've got to get
yeah,
rid of that.
yeah,
Get rid
yeah.
of that.
So I know, and that's I'm figuring that one out. So yeah, the environment's different. I gotta get more used to saying no. That's that thing. Just prioritizing what I want in the future over like what's happening in the moment. Um, so there's that. Otherwise, though, man, like there's like this place is so like quiet. Like it's so quiet.
You got some serenity, huh?
Something like that. Yeah, like
Mm.
just walking around, like you don't really hear anything. Um,
That's
I
awesome.
think I think that'd be kind of nice because what population is like less than 3,000 people, so it'd be nice just to go there and just like
Yeah.
no
Just
one's
chill.
there, right?
yeah, there's like there's like neighborhood cats that just walk around. It's like they're just doing their thing. I saw one taking a shit actually yesterday when I was making a brief stop to like uh one of the supermarkets they have there. So
I'm glad
um
to see episode 4, and this is where our podcast is ended.
Just talking about cat shit.
yeah.
It is what it is.
So
Thanks for bringing us down, Sam. You can see what Missouri is up to.
yeah, no problem, man. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
So, but otherwise, yeah, that's kind of that's the situation on my end. Looking to, uh, yeah, I'm looking to get more into not really sales call work right now. It's leaning more into outbound dialing and just call center work. So, because I've never really had that experience to be fair. So, I feel like as a sales professional, like to be that, um, part of it's gonna be like learning how to do more than just inbound calls. So, I just want to build that kind of bone or muscle up as well. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Fair enough. And like whilst you had that experience of having to move, I wouldn't say is it half the country, like across half the country?
Not really. I'd say like maybe like 15%, if anything.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
it's still all right? Like 15% of the country, given USA, it's quite big, right? For most of the EU guys, that's probably like 4 or 5 countries, right?
Yeah.
Either way, like moving that far from what you used to, like all the daily things, like what essentially like what your personality has been based on, like back in Wisconsin, like how's that shaping you? Like obviously you got your friend over there, you're picking some good habits and bad habits, but like besides that, like how do you feel like the nature, like all that surrounding, like what sort of impact does that have in you?
Mm, it's not like a big city or something like that.
Hmm.
So it feels more extreme than where I was before because there's like barely anybody here.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel that wildly different, to be fair. So like if I was moving to Chicago, for example, that would be an insane change for sure. So um yeah, I think it just goes back to the reason why I had to move.
Hmm.
I literally did not feel safe there anymore. So like moving here, like it's I wouldn't have moved here if the thing that had happened at home happened
No,
or
yeah,
hadn't
yeah,
happened,
absolutely.
because I technically feel less safe here, but I literally feel more safe here. So
Mm.
um, I think it helps a lot though too that it's not some big city. I feel like that would take even more adjusting on my part. But otherwise, like I feel like it's meshed pretty well. So
Because one thing I've noticed personally, because I before I moved into the big city, which is Krakow, I used to live in a village, and my sort of ambition, my um sense of like what I want to achieve, like definitely because of this is a big place. There's like so many people, around, like so many stories, all that stuff. I definitely see much more growth in like a city environment versus like being in like a place like you can relax, you can chill. There's no rush, no nothing. I feel like for at this stage that we're in life, I feel like if I was in a place just like you, and it might be just maybe my willpower is not as strong, but if I was, I don't know if it's actually a willpower thing. If I was living in like a village remote area, I would have so many more temptations not to just go all in, because I have all this beautiful surroundings, all the environment. I can just go on hunting trips. I could just go walking, all that stuff. So yeah.
yeah, you actually make a good point there. I didn't even consider that because when I was at Chicago briefly, I think one of the biggest things there were the fucking massive skyscrapers that they have there. And not only that, but like all the boutique shops.
Yeah.
And I feel like being surrounded by that, you make a good point. That would just kind of, it would be like a constant reminder for me for what I can have. Um,
Yeah.
and knowing that I don't have that, it just makes you think about, okay, well, what do you got to do to get there? So,
Mm.
um,
But
yeah, I feel like maybe the only benefit to where I am right now is just that that's my only option or one of my only few options.
No,
But
no,
also,
but
yeah, but
this
also
this
outside of that, just like that, there's nothing really here to do.
yeah, but
So,
that's also good because there's
yeah,
nothing there to do. Then there's anything you don't focus on, right?
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Just you can literally just go full monk mode because you don't know anyone. There's like 3,000, less than 3,000 people. There's nothing to do other than just work, right? You work for the next 12 months, 18 months, 2 years, and your life looks a whole lot different compared if you were to just stay in your old environment.
Yeah.
You know,
Which which Sean, I've seen a post of yours,
yeah.
speaking literally just about that, right? Like in nine
Hmm.
months, you put your head down, and now you're seeing great results, right?
Yeah, because I mean, like 9 months ago, I moved to Amsterdam. I was still in my 9 to 5. So I stayed in my 9 to 5 for like another 3 weeks after that, and I just packed it in, then went all in on sales. and I've only been doing it, like I've only been full time in sales since, well, I left since like 8.5 months, and like the progress when you actually put your head down and put the work in just compounds, right? The 2 hours every day, the training, the not like I don't know anyone here in Amsterdam either. I know like 4 people, 5 people. I know people in the gym, and then I've got like 4 or 5 friends outside of it, and then a couple of football groups, like playing once a week. But I don't have all the same distractions I had at home, like my friends,
Yeah.
like just the same environment, family, smoking weed, all that stuff. So that's different. But it's good though, because you push yourself, Sam, and you learn a lot about yourself.
100%.
Mhm.
So
Would you say?
huh?
Sorry, go on. No,
No,
sorry,
we're
go
gonna
on.
say?
No, you
No,
go
no,
first. You go
Ash,
first.
my question relates to something different other than this. What were you gonna say?
What I was gonna say is, as you both essentially, like, do you feel as counterintuitive as it might sound, but like I feel like we all resonate with that sort of mindset. It's like if you have everything given at your plate, you're never going to grow as much as if you have to genuinely struggle to get to the levels that you actually want to get to, which is in this case, just the fact that you have to move across half the country, well, 15%. You, Sean, you go, from UK, you move over to well, Ireland. From Ireland, you move over to Netherlands, right? To
Mm-hmm.
Amsterdam, and like obviously none of us had like a smooth ride in this industry. We had our challenges, but I feel like just based off of those challenges, like always testing like how bad do we want it? Like there's always like a big reward at the end. And I feel like if we don't have those, it's first of all it makes for a boring story. And second off, like I genuinely don't feel like we would ever push ourselves if we didn't have any setbacks.
Yeah, for sure, because it's the struggle that you remember, right? Because I remember where like I was making like €1,000 a month, like most times even less. And I remember I had to ask my business owner for an advance on my commissions, and I ended up paying like 2 months to pay him back because I was just completely broke. And then I had my best month, just ended there. It kind of makes it more bittersweet, right? Because it's the amount of work you have to put in to actually grow and like level up. That's what it requires. And essentially, in order to kind of live the life you want to live, these are kind of sacrifices you have to make. Right? You've got to sacrifice going out to your friends. You've got to sacrifice drinking. You've got to sacrifice, doing stuff with, your girlfriend because you're taking calls, or buying clothes because you've only got the exact amount of money for rent and you can't afford anything else, or else you're fucked, right? But ultimately, when you have the months, where you're making the type of money you kind of dream of making, then it just makes it all even better. Because I mean,
And I
if
feel
you
like
kind of if you kind of just came in and it's like straight off the bat, you're just hitting like 10K, 10K, 10K. It's like, and then what happens when it goes? Like when if you're not making it, then you don't know what it's like to actually struggle without it.
exactly. So like this is something I was going against, right? But then again, like not exactly, because like my first offer I was barely making much, right? Like one or two sales, although those were very high ticket sales. But like then after I changed my offers, it was like back to like close to zero, right? So it's just like
Mm-hmm.
it was just kind of facing like, okay, how bad do I want this? Like, and I feel like that's what it takes. Like you gotta it's easy to perform, it's easy to say all the motivational stuff, like when everything's right. But like when things go sideways and when things go, not the way you want it, like I feel like this is exactly where you separate yourself from the guys that, just say they want to get to that level, right? Like we all chase it, like because at the end of the day, who wouldn't want to have like all the money, all the things, all the freedom that we get to have. Well, at the other side of that, it's like they don't necessarily want to put as much work as we did into this, right? Because sales at the end of the day, this is not just like a learned skill. Like I feel like with what we've been taught and like the people that we surround ourselves with, they constantly push for perfection. And like it's just that striving to be better every single day. And I feel like this is the only way, because we work out on our personality, we work on being better leaders, we work on our communication skills, and we grow as people at the end of the day, right?
Mhm. Yeah, 'cause you don't push yourself, and like think of how many people say they want to, be earning 10K and they don't want to work their 9 to 5 and they want to do X, Y, and Z, but then they don't do anything, right? They just sit there and scroll on their phone and they go out the
Mm.
weekend, they party, they drink, they don't do
They
their
smoke
actions.
cigars to look cool
Yeah,
and pretend.
yeah, their actions don't match what they're saying don't match their actions.
They don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sam, anything you want to add on that?
Um. Yeah, like I feel like I experienced a little bit of that secondhand these last couple weeks. So, and like it's like incredibly contagious. I don't know how else to explain it, but um yeah, like at least one of the big things in my mind has been like where I want to put my focus. Because like in the moment it's like you could do this thing, but does it contribute at all to like your future? And like it doesn't more often than
No,
not. And you
it's just
just you
dopamine.
just you just still feel awful like afterward,
No,
but you also feel awful like doing the work necessary to get what you want if it's something that's supposed to happen later on down the line. um so for me it's kind of that choice. Do I want to feel awful and like remain the same, or do I want to feel awful but be better? So it's like trying to work that out. So, and for me, I'm slowly adjusting back to the latter. So that's like for me, honestly, one of my biggest things is like I've never really figured it out yet on like how to wake up early, like on my own will. Like that's I don't
Easy,
know
bro.
if I don't know if that's something that's for you guys, but like for me, that's like uh
Not
that is
don't not
that
not
is
for not for Grunky. Grunky, you guys says until like 3 in the morning.
oh,
I
some
honestly
some
say I honestly say that you guys over there overseas have it or have a reason to stay up later just because like a good chunk of the world I feel like revolves around the US. So being on their
no,
times
definitely.
is like actually beneficial to you. But for me it's like I'm not even on those times if I'm staying up as late as I am. So
How late do you stay up till?
it's usually between I'd say like 1 to 2 in the morning.
Mm.
So yeah.
Bro, I'm staying up to like I don't know, maybe like 11 taking calls, have by the time it's all done, it's like half 11, and I'm still getting up at like 6 the next day. You just gotta set your alarm and just gotta do it right.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not as hard. You're just making a lot of excuses saying you can't do it, but at the end of the day, you just have to set your alarm and just get up. That's it.
And I also feel like, well, first of all, like how do you get up is something our friend Paul Tolley says that I actually started adapting. It's like whatever you're trying to do, and you obviously try and do it best, try and adapt the mentality of the person that would have been in a position that, well, that you want to imitate. So let's say you want to wake up in the morning and you just think to yourself, what would David Goggins say to in my situation, right? So most of the cases, like when I have trouble waking up, I know that David Goggins would just be saying, "Wake up, stop being a bitch, and just either go for an outdoor workout, actually start putting in the work and actually work on something better, right?" And that's one thing, and like that person worked for me fantastically. Like especially like when I'm I don't know, like fearful, like there's a lot of stress. I'm thinking to like the person that is actually the best in the industry or whatever the problem I'm facing, like someone that has already overcome that and overcame it multiple times. I think like, okay, like what would be their attitude? Like how do I adapt their attitude? How do I reverse engineer how they think so I can think the same way and perform the same way? Because it's all at the end of the day, it's all in the mind, right? Like if you whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, like you're right at the same time. That's a famous Henry Ford quote for you both. Um, but one thing I gotta ask you is like 1 or 2 o'clock. Is that the time that you're up because you're taking calls or like you're studying? Like what's
Yeah, what are
the
you doing till like 2 in the morning, bro?
So
Nothing good
for
happens after 11.
yeah, no, for me it's like I always feel like there's like something more I could be doing. Like it's
okay?
that never-ending list. If that kind of makes sense for you guys.
Yeah.
Um like I think one of the big things that I have is like I feel like I there's like well, what do I say? It's like it's almost like I don't have enough time to do everything.
No, I feel that. I feel
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I've been feeling
But
like that a lot as well lately.
yeah, and like for me it's like there's like so many of these things I want to study and then like kind of just like before it's like I know this for sure. It's like for me, I'll always find something that I could do that puts me into staying up that late.
Mm.
I almost
Do
go
you,
until a point where I like it's almost like I'm so tired that I finally realize that there's no point going further because I'm that tired.
What are you looking at? Because whatever you're
So
doing should just be focusing towards your goals.
yeah, it's usually like um so one it's like random gold nuggets that I want to keep replaying that either it's from that sales string like over at the objection box um or it's like some one-off thing from like Alex Hermosi for example or um yeah
I would say this as much as I respect Alex Ramosi and all that stuff, I would say keep your focus where your focus needs to be because you can go in and look at Alex Ramosi and all that stuff like once you're at the stage where that information is beneficial to you. Because I feel like at this stage right now, the most beneficial information out there is going to be in the box. It's going to be whether you jump on the roleplay calls or whether you practice more in sales, right? Because I feel like letting sales from Alex Hormozy, no shade thrown on him. I don't think that guy is the best in terms of like. I mean, we've all trained in the closer framework, right? Like where did that get us?
Personally, I because look, my point of view would kind of be the same as Sam's, right? You kind of just need to focus on one person. Because like I see every single person, like Alex Hermosi's been posted every single day by everyone, right? Hermosi posts, Hermosi this, Hermosi that. Whether it's Alex Hermosi or it's Andrew Tate or it's someone else or Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, right? But ultimately, you just need to stick your head down for a couple of months and focus on the person that you actually want to be or
Yeah.
be like. So in your world, Sam, you want to be in sales and you want to be the best at sales, right? So just do one thing extremely good until you get extremely competent at it, and then actually, um, and then start looking at other people. Because that's even that's even an Alex Hermosi thing as well. I'm not sure how it actually goes, but it's like
No, it is like
yeah, it's like you basically copy someone until you're just as good as them, and then when you're just as good as them, then you start to make the changes. And if you're trying to be as good as people in the objection box, Alex Hermosi, someone else, then you're gonna be like 20% good in every single one of them. Instead of 100% good in one of them, and then just call in that way.
yeah.
yeah
What Sam you got about earlier?
I do. There's that, and then I always think I can sleep less than 8 hours, but it honestly it almost never happens.
Rest
Um,
is important, man. So
Yeah.
make sure that's covered, because you're always going to operate to the extent that your body actually allows you to. If you come up and then you show up exhausted, and you just like always the essential stuff, which is sleep, like maybe diet, all that stuff. I would just say just and this isn't like pick on you, like this isn't the episode to pick on Sam Steinhoff, but like I feel like distracting yourself, and like there's so much information out there, it's very hard to like actually filter out like what's gonna be good for you, like what's not gonna be not good for you. And like you can genuinely fall into the paralysis of analysis, like, okay, I might need even more information out there, right? Because like, dude, what if this other guy has a golden nugget that's going to change my life, right? But then when you actually hear that golden nugget, what are you going to do next? Like with that same attitude, you're going to go and research another guy that's going to give you another golden nugget. So it's like, I feel like it's actually having the balance of like what you listen to and actually employing it into your life. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a key saying on that, and it's to know and not to do is not to know.
Precisely.
So you can have all the information, but unless you're going to do anything with it, then you necessarily don't know it. Because you've got so many different input streams coming into your head, you can't implement everyone's information at the same time.
So
Mm.
with that in mind, what are we looking to focus on and improve over the next week? Because we got a big guest coming in for the next episode.
Yeah, we
So
do.
definitely wanna tune in for that one. But like what are we each one of us, like what are we looking to focus on? Like what are we trying to improve?
For me, like straight off the bat, it's just going to bed early and waking up early. Like that's my first step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Shawnee?
Me, probably
Yes,
just
you, Mr. Brady.
future pace. I want to start showing up to more trainings. I haven't trained or role played in weeks, but I'm still doing okay. But there's been like 5 deals I've had where I had to kept training, had I kept developing and getting better, I definitely felt like I would have got them across the line, and that ultimately would have brought me to my like 10K goal I was looking for. Or not looking for, but that we should all strive for in this space. So yeah, I want to show up more at the trainings, and otherwise than that, I'm doing pretty decent at the moment.
Yeah. I guess it's on last. I think what I'm gonna improve is definitely my own personal brand. Like that's something I've been kind of putting off. I've been going deep into trainings, all that stuff. But I still definitely have to show up to more trainings. Like if I guess what we can do is like kind of schedule some more trainings, like role play calls with each other. But I definitely want to dive deeper into the video course that we have access to. Rewatch some of the basics, rewatch some of the foundation, because what I've noticed is like sometimes on the calls, like I don't. Sometimes I would have the advantage if I just stick to the basics, and I closed a lot recently, but I feel like I could have closed even more given I was just not trying to overcomplicate things, and I could have landed less follow-ups, which I have two follow-ups, but it is what it is.
Yeah, because there's an old Chinese saying, and it's from the Shaolin monks, and it's like I don't fear the man who knows 10,000 different moves. I fear the man who's done the same move 10,000 times. Which is essentially just you can do all the fancy shit, you can, have all the bells and whistles, but it's just going to be the same basic boring stuff that does the work, right? Focusing on the 4 key areas, and that's
That's
it.
a golden nugget. That's a golden nugget from you. Yeah,
Boom.
that's for sure. That's for sure, man.
Top this going on the Facebook page.
We can probably set that up as well. But boys, what do you say? We wrap things up? we just say
Yeah.
bye-bye.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bye bye,
Uh,
guys. Tune in
well,
next
not
week
yet,
for our
not
big
yet.
guest.
Exactly. Stay tuned for the announcement of our new guest. That's someone that definitely every single one of us is looking up to. Pretty much excelled in everything sales related. You know, his personal brand, his networking side, like obviously closing skills, all that stuff. So there's gonna be a shit ton of golden nuggets in that episode. So yeah. Just want to say, have a wonderful week. Close some deals, and yeah, I think that's it. Bye bye.
Yep. We'll see you
Done.
next Wednesday.